The Sabbath keeping, which is the seventh day of the week, is questioned today by many Christ followers. And also Christ himself was questioned by the spiritual leaders at his time. Boy, did he have a challenge. Reading some of the stories of what Jesus did on the Sabbath day and how he was held accountable by the spiritual leaders make me feel the tension under which Jesus had to measure every step of his ministry.
In this lesson, there is the risk to start throwing in everything that we know about the Sabbath. After all, this is our Adventist topic. But I like that in this quarter, we are trying to specifically look at the subjects through the eyes of Jesus.
And it's obvious in the Gospels that Jesus was never questioned whether or not to observe the Sabbath, but rather was judged on how to do so.
Exactly. So let's leave the question about Sunday and so on the side and focus more on Christ's relationship with the day of rest.
As we said in the previous lesson when talking about the law, in this lesson the Sabbath in particular is again an expression of love. Is it a command? Yes, but out of love. Jesus has created the seventh day for no other reason but as a blessing for the already 6-day-old creation. There was a benefit for man and nature. Is this benefit done with? Is this benefit moved to another time on my watch? I fear it hasn't. At least Jesus doesn't mention even a hint of change.
Jesus created the Sabbath, so he should know best what is it about, right?
Yeah.
But it's amazing how often we can end up like the Pharisees to think that we know best how to observe the day.
Practically, the question for me today is, do I find a benefit in keeping the Sabbath day? Do I really love to spend time with God?
Or is it a burden, something that I can't wait to end? Examples are not perfect, but we're talking about relationship with God, and the Sabbath for me is a very special date. People don't date the same, and the way we date when we're engaged is very different of when we have this special time with kids and grandkids around. Keeping the sparkle alive, though, is of the essence.
Living through the day of Shabbat, which means rest first and foremost, has been summarized by Jesus as simply using the time to help and to do good for others. The spirit of the Sabbath is a time to deny self-interests and to unselfishly spend our energy for the benefit of other people and nature around us.
As we spend more time with Christ, we start having the same desires, the same values, the same love for people. And if we don't, we should check our relationship. Spending this day submitted to the things that he valued more than his life, what can be greater than that? This is when miracles happen.
Have you ever asked yourself the question, how strict should I be with the keeping of the Sabbath? Look at Jesus. He went every Sabbath to the place of gathering in the synagogue. And look at the apostles. From Sabbath to Sabbath, Paul was teaching the Gentiles and the Jews. They loved the Sabbath. Nothing could have replaced the day. Should we?
If we live it and not just observe it, we all know the answer.